K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Karen.
I'm Marisa.
And this is our top 3 of 2018. Yep, each one of us has our top 3 shows that we enjoyed from this past year of and what I think, ladies, is an amazing year of dramas.
I think it was a good year.
Again, I've only been watching for a few years. You've only been watching for a few years, Marisa. But Karen, I think you can attest that this has been a solid year.
It's been a solid year
of K-dramas. So without further ado, because we each have our own 3 that we love, and I think
we
all kind of like smudged a little.
Yeah.
Like there's a little blurring of the lines, so you get a lot of talk from all of us on all these shows.
I think I like all of these shows.
Yeah.
So
I think this is definitely one where it's kind of our personal top 3, but we shared it.
Yes.
So without further ado, let's get started. Karen, why don't you tell us one of your first shows?
I would be very happy to. Thank you.
What's of course?
I'm going to start with a rom-com, of course.
Of course.
I do appreciate that genre.
Yes.
And I really liked 100 Days My Prince.
Yes.
I am not one to typically go for the historical shows, whether they be rom-com or drama.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't tend to gravitate toward the historical shows.
I enjoy the historical ones.
But every once in a while, and based on both of your recommendations, I jumped in, and oh, I'm so glad that I did.
Now, what was it about that put it in your top 3 category? Why did it make the list?
The storytelling was fantastic. I eagerly anticipated what was going to happen next, so they did a great job of just laying out the story and building up the suspense. The chemistry between the 2 leads were fantastic.
Yeah, Dio is such a talented actor.
Very talented.
Yeah, lots of good stuff coming from him. So.
And then Nam Ji-hyun, of course, was delightful.
She was great.
I like her. Let me rephrase this. I enjoyed her a ton in this one. I have liked her up to a certain point in other shows. But I've never enjoyed her more than I did in this one. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because she's getting older and so it's more of a mature.
She's 21 now?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. She's so young.
She's only 21.
She's
21 or 22.
Yeah,
she's very young.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe just the other stuff, she was just basically a teenager and so I just couldn't relate to it, what she was doing at all.
Yeah.
But I just really thoroughly enjoyed her in this one.
Yeah,
she's
great.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was beautiful. The locations and the period setting was a lot of fun. And they would have some like modern references thrown in here and there to make it fun. So yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It warmed my heart.
It did.
Yes. His deadpan.
His deadpan is amazing.
It's just.
Is anyone else feeling
uncomfortable? Like that was really one of the best catchphrases ever.
Yeah.
I wish it would have played more in the reveal at the end.
Yeah.
But the end did peter out a little.
Didn't stick the landing.
But up until that moment, it was definitely it was so good.
Yeah.
It was definitely a crack watch. All right, cool. Marisa?
I'm fudging a little bit.
Oh.
This started in 2017.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was in 2018.
Prison Playbook.
Oh!
Doesn't that seem like a year ago?
I feel like that was forever ago. Right?
It was, but it was just
the bulk of it was in 202018 though, because it was 20 episodes. So
yeah, 20 very long, hour-and-a-half episodes, but it was solid storytelling. Every episode just wrapped up so neatly, presented a problem, there was a twist. It was just, it was so well acted with Park Hae-soo and Jung Kyung-ho. How much did we love him?
I adore him.
Yes.
On every,
this was a solid show for him because that Missing 9 is.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to say. That was my first introduction to him, was Missing 9, and even then I was like, you are compelling as an actor. And then I saw him in Prison Playbook, and I'm like, absolutely. Like he's just so freaking good.
Yes, the bromance was fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
yes. He's so fantastic.
His relationship with Im Hwa-hyung, so adorable. It was solid all the way around.
It was just really
great,
really
great.
And it was an interesting. It was a different setting than we typically see.
in prison.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
And the
I did appreciate the fact that just the ensemble was a true ensemble.
A true ensemble.
It was a true ensemble show.
Yeah,
everyone
Jung
had a
Yeon.
Oh, right. And that was the other thing that I thought was really amazing about that show, is that it was when people got released or left the prison, their prison block, they were gone.
They were gone.
Yeah.
Like
they
just
were
how
gone.
it would actually happen.
Just
I think
like
we
in life.
discussed that originally, but
Yeah.
I just thought that was such a great it was just so satisfying to know that everything wasn't going to be pat at the end.
No, and there were such great characters to attach to that you emotionally got involved with, like Choi Moo-sung, who played Min-chul, the head prisoner in their cell. Oh. So loved his storyline. Yeah. Really just satisfying all the way around. It was really well done.
It was. That's. I'm gonna have to rewatch.
Maybe. In all your spare time.
Right. I have so much spare time. I have a whole list of things that I'm going to rewatch or binge watch. And I swear to God, that list is going to be almost the same as it is like a year from now. But yeah, that's definitely one. That's actually one, when people were like, well, I mean, what should I watch? Like, I've never really watched K-drama. That's like one of the first ones that I recommend. That's a good one. I'm like,
I think it would
Netflix
be one
has
that,
it. Go to Prison Playbook. It's
Netflix, and I think it's one that both male and female audience would enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. Fairly trope-free and not predictable. So it was really good. Really good.
Good character studies.
I like that a lot.
And Jen.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
So let's see. Which one do I want to pick first? All right. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Still 17. Because
you really loved it, didn't you?
Loved Still 17. And it was, so I mean, it had Shin Hae-sun, who I adore her. She is so good. She was in Stranger, which is where I first saw her, which was one of the strongest ones out of 2017, in my personal opinion.
Wasn't she? Oh, she was in the Mermaid one.
Oh, Legend of the Blue Sea.
Legend of the Blue Sea.
Oh, God, was she really?
Right. Yeah, she was the one with the crush on Lee Min-ho.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
Right, but that was a very kind of typical pedestrian character, but she really, she took hold of this one. This is
what I really loved about her in Still 17. Like, all the tropes were there. You had first love, you had tragic backstory, you had amnesia.
In a coma for 17 years.
You had every trope you could, seriously every trope you could have. But I just love the fact that even though we had all the tropes laid out for us, they didn't fall really into all the trope traps.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite part. She still stayed, regardless of how disappointed she was. And she did. She cried the big tears when you're supposed to cry the big tears. When you realize that you woke up, you fell asleep at 17 and you woke up at 30. Who's not going to weep openly about that?
I know, but then when she did you remember? She said, okay, I feel better now.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just felt like the way she reacted to things, while yes, there were moments where they were a little bit hysterical, I just thought that it was just so true to how a person would react to those types of things. And then when she was going away to school, it was really my favorite when she was writing her final note to Woo Jin, and it was so Ye Sing-jung. It was so cute when she was like, and I really need to do this, and I love this, but I'm gonna leave my friend. Wait a second. Oh my God, and then she starts writing like, I don't want to go at all. And she was writing this whole letter, and it was just, the way they did it was just, it was just so beautiful. And then even with him, he was falling into the noble idiocy thing. And then but he didn't. He got on the plane and you're all like, oh, we're doing the noble idiocy thing. And you could almost feel collectively.
I'll go away for the good of both of us.
Exactly. Yeah. You feel, the whole thing and you're just like, oh God, here we go. And then he showed up on the bridge and you're like, oh, he didn't. Oh. And I just thought that was just so much more. It was just so satisfying for me, and I know that you guys didn't love it as much. But it was
really enjoyed it. Every character in that household, that kind of mismatched family. What did you call them?
Oh, like the maid family, like the made-up family. I just
really
I
wonderful. Jennifer.
Jennifer was fantastic. She's so amazing. So Yi Jin-won.
Jennifer Gold.
We all want a Jennifer in our lives. I think.
Yes, I think you all should have a Jennifer in your life. Thank you.
Oh.
I wish I was as cool as that, Jennifer.
So great.
You totally
so great.
Maybe not. I don't want to be as tragic, but I'm totally not be that cool. I want to just like.
She was happy at the end, I just
want to spout out these big
poetry.
Unbelievably poetry. Like, here you go, ladies. Live your life this way. I have to come up with a few maybe if I want to be like.
Really wonderful.
I got to work on my Jennifers. I got to work on my Jennifer-ness. But
yeah. Be that Jennifer.
Still 17, just one of. As far as like the rom-com thing went, my most satisfying rom-com for sure, just from start to finish. Like, and you didn't like the end where they pulled back, and I just thought it was. I liked the fact that they ended up together in the house in the window, and I thought that was really sweet.
That was sweet.
It
was just the whole crew waving.
Yeah.
Oh, when they broke the wall.
You enjoyed that?
I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it.
Okay.
So anyway.
Good.
All right, so that's mine. All right, excellent. That's our first round. Round two. Boom. I'm such a loud human. I really am.
That's fantastic. You be you. You be you. You be you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ooh, what do I want to talk about next? Ooh, so many choices. Well, since apparently I picked every show that has 100 in the title, we'll talk about 100 Million Stars from the Sky, AKA The Smile Has Left Your Eyes.
How can it not be on a list?
How could it not be on someone's list?
Oh, excellent show. It felt like a movie for the most part. Watching it was such a good show.
Very cinematic.
Yes, I'll put it this way for K-drama fans out there. It was such a good show that when the product placement popped up, you were like, what's going on with the show? What's wrong with the show?
Yeah.
Because it stood out so much when they didn't weave it into the show.
Like, wait,
so that's how good the show, well, the vacuuming. Yeah.
Hey, protein bars. What?
The protein bars. Oh, anyway. Let's
These will fill you up. You don't even have to eat dinner.
I'm not even gonna eat.
That was fantastic. That was clearly one of the greatest things ever.
But what was so great about the show was just not only the look and feel of it and the emotional experience was wonderful, and that was because of, I think, this, not only the storytelling but the performances by all of the actors.
So good.
Was so good, especially Soo-Hyang and Jung So-min and Baek Sung-Woong as the brother. I think I pronounced that right, I hope. And I know so many people, as it was getting close to the end, people were like, I really hope there's at least a slightly hopeful, if not a happy ending altogether. I was not expecting that, and I felt like, and we've talked about this already, the ending fit the show. It was tragedy through and through, but so well done. And I appreciated, since they had the Romeo and Juliet ending, that they had a chance to actually, unlike Romeo and Juliet, have it together.
Yes. Yes.
And be able to say I love you and goodbye to one another.
Absolutely.
Was just, and then of course the brother coming and realizing, oh, holy cow, if only I had made a different choice.
Right?
We would not be at this end. He didn't say holy cow, he was screaming and wailing. But, so,
yeah, there was definitely an emotional heft to this show that was really well done. Soo-Hyang was just a revelation.
I was going to say, wow.
Yeah.
Like you said, for you,
he was the reason that I was glued to the screen for the entire show. Sure, I think if anyone else would have, and again, I'm probably, if it was someone else, I don't think if anyone else did this, but he was just, there was just a certain level of
gravitas.
Yes, that's
he just owned. He owned that character.
Yeah, he understood the mask as well as what was underneath it, and like there was just, he had all those layers that were working for him. And I just. He was so compelling that when it ended the way it ended, I mean, I personally felt that there was no other way to end it.
At that point,
I agree with you on that,
Him going to jail and her, what was she going to do
for him
forever?
For 25 years.
25, he was never getting out of that jail. He killed Chaebal's daughter and technically the son as well. Like, you know, he was never getting out of jail, if he's even just survived jail.
Right.
So
It was the right ending.
It really was. It was the only ending you got. I will say this though, I feel like the author was like, or the writer was like, we're gonna do Romeo and Juliet, but only better. And then they backtracked from there, but I just didn't feel like, I mean, they earned it, obviously, but there were moments where there were a few plot holes.
Yeah.
There were.
I forgave.
I forgave most of them, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like
That's okay though.
That's okay.
Yep.
It's on Karen's top 3.
It's on Karen's top 3. And I will say this, Soo-Hyang did absolutely probably the top performance this year for me personally.
It's hard to think of another.
I can't think of one that matches.
Maybe the dad and Come and Hug Me.
Maybe.
But the killer.
Really?
I thought that was a compelling performance, a disturbing performance.
Right.
But no.
Okay.
But maybe
I think that was
not on the same level.
I feel like Soo-Hyang actually had.
I
think he really had the performance of the year. That's my personal opinion. Like he was.
I can go with that
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Marisa, what's also
So I'm going with a series that I haven't even completed.
That's how good it is.
I was so enamored with Jung Kyung-ho in Prison Playbook that Life on Mars is on my list.
Oh, yes.
And the relationship he has with our favorite brother from
100
Million Stars with Park Sang-woo, Park Sung-Woo.
Yes.
So much fun. And it's just that the show's a little difficult to find. It's not on a major streaming site, which is why I haven't completed it. But it's just, it's so enjoyable. I think it's a great remake of the BBC version. I tried to watch the US version, but I thought the BBC version was really the best one. But this one, if I could watch the whole thing, I would let you know. But the 4 or 5 episodes I've watched so far are so great. Ko Eun-Sung as the young female cadet who just deals with rampant sexism.
I've only watched like the first 2 episodes, and it is jarring.
The 80s, the 80s were bad in the police station. But she, you know, obviously the most clever cop there, and I love that Jung-Yeon like recognizes that in her, and I'm just, I want to finish it. I will finish it, and I do love it. So
excellent. Yeah, I started like the first 2 episodes, and it's
fun, right?
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Like he's so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that one. Cool. Okay, so kind of in the same vein, but not exactly, but kind of in that fun vein. My next one is The Player.
Yeah.
Oh.
I am not gonna lie to you. Quite possibly one of the overall most satisfying shows I watched all year. Because it was fun. It was the kind of what we were talking about where with Prison Playbook, where you each week the 2 episodes there was a complete story.
So you finished telling a story.
You had the crook, they went after them, they caught them, shenanigans, and then it was ended.
They get what they deserve.
And then they got like you got like one more piece of whatever the puzzle was.
Right, the bigger overall
story. And it was just so really fun. Well done. And I am sorry, but there is no one with more swagger in K-Drama land than Sung-Hyang. I am sorry.
The white suits. Oh my goodness.
Own swagger.
He does. He does. Even when he's like fighting.
Right?
It's just so awesome.
He was just
so good.
Even when he's like being super emotional, I'm like, you even swagger then.
He swaggers when
he's swagger when you cry.
When he's being vulnerable.
Like
his vulnerable swagger.
And just vulnerable. Exactly. Even his swagger is vulnerable. Or his vulnerability is swagger. And I really enjoyed the found family again. I mean, this idea again, where it's these 4 kind of misfits, and you find out obviously at the end that they all are connected, and he brought them all together because he's the smartest man in the room. And how it always works out. But it was just the fact that he just kind of brought them all together and didn't blame them for what happened to his father. He recognized they were all pawns in it and were broken like him, and so he gave them the opportunity to get the revenge, and it was just. Oh, it was so satisfying. And then you got Kim Won-Hae, and he rolls in.
That's right.
And he was so great. And the final episode when all the bad guys get busted and they got like this cowboy, like Western, like, you know, like twang music, like with all the arrests are happening. It was just so satisfying that when it finally ended and they're all going to jail and they're riding in their paddy wagon to like final, and they're like, wow, well, we did that, and that's cool, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And this truck kind of looks like the A-Team truck. And I'm like, no.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? And then, of course, Crystal, like, you know, took over the driving, and then suddenly it's the 4 of them in the van, and they're now, like, the A-Team fugitives. And Kim Won-Hae is like, totally season 2 material, right?
Love it.
Just the most satisfying. So, just such a satisfying show. Like, so it had to make my list because it was one of those shows, and when it ended, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's so fun!"
And you want more?
I did. Like, I so want more. Yeah. I need more swagger in my life. All right. Woo! Round 2, complete.
Well,
your final
equally fun. My final choice for 2018 top show. I'm not saying best show, best storytelling, or best acting. Or
really? You're backing off?
You're backing off? What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, no. I'm just saying this show didn't necessarily have those things.
No?
But it's still in my top shows of 2018. And that would be TERIUS.
Oh my God, you have TERIUS behind me. That's right.
I can't believe I actually went with this show. But then I thought about it. I was like, let's talk about the experience as a K-drama fan.
Exactly.
Watching my favorite actor in a
Yes.
show.
Yes.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Yes.
There
that
really
bias is so strong. And it overlooks the gap in cohesive storytelling, the sudden shifts in tone, the lack of character arc development. It doesn't matter. No. It doesn't matter. Once I finally, it took me a while. Like, you guys know, you were there halfway through to like let go of that.
Oh my God.
And just enjoy the ride and the silliness and the it was so fun, and it was fun interacting with all of you. Everybody out there just like, oh my God, what was it? What's with the kids? Oh no, what's gonna, and we started getting interested in these things that any other show I would have dropped a long time ago.
But So-Ji Sub sticks the landing. Nice.
Pulls through for me. I'm a fan through and through. What can I say? And but also there were really great elements. I mean, the ajishis, or sorry, the ajumas at the apartment complex with my favorite daddy Ajuma.
He's so adorable.
Ki-Yong.
He is. I can't wait for him to finally get a lead role. Do you think he'll get a lead role in 2019?
Well, no, but I prefer him in this character, a really interesting character role. I like him.
I would like to see him with a little, maybe a beefier second lead.
Yeah.
Maybe a beefier second lead. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they just kind of give him enough to make you go, oh yeah, I want more.
There was not enough of him in the show, and a lot of people are getting not enough of the ajumas themselves in the show.
That was a big complaint I heard on Twitter, that we needed more
ajumas.
Less spy. Can we get an ajuma spot? Can we get an ajuma spin-off?
Less spy stuff. Yeah. The spy stuff. The show reminded me, in the end, the show reminded me, and I can't remember if I've shared this before, it reminded me of a comic book in a way. I'm like, if this show had been a comic book, it would have been awesome, and then like the shifts and the whatever, it wouldn't have mattered because it would all been like little visuals. So that I started thinking about the show as a comic book as I was watching. I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Well, there you go. I will say, when I only watched the first couple of episodes, but what I thought was really clever and a lot of fun was when the ajumas were all like trying to find the kids, and it became like the network, and they were all like texting and like tweeting and like taking photos, and like it was
out on social media.
Nothing got past the ajumas. Like I thought that was amazing. Their network was like infiltrated everything.
And they brought that back a little bit at the end. Which was nice.
Oh, good.
And just one final thought about TERIUS behind me. Soji Sub, anytime you want to Eskimo kiss me, you can.
Oh.
You did the nose kiss.
Yeah.
So anytime. That's my third for 2018.
Excellent. It seems like a good choice. Yeah. For sure. It's a good way to wrap up 2018.
Yeah.
Nice.
Soji Sub.
It feels good. Soji Sub. Eskimo kiss.
Nice.
Marisa.
So the other show in my top 3 is My ID is Gangnam Beauty.
Oh.
I know it was super popular for so many different reasons, but I think that just the story development and the pacing, it was far more sensitive than I thought a college setting was going to, put forth. So some of the realness of what they were struggling with was so good. Sua's character, even though maybe the ending, I think it explained it a little. I mean, it ended a little too pat for her. Yeah. But I think just, that mean girl, the one who will betray you in a second, it's so real, right?
Yes.
So yes,
it is, Marisa.
Yes. I just think all of the kids in that college were just so great, and I really loved Soo-Hyang as Kang Mi-rae. She was
great.
She's adorable.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Very sweet, and her dance skills were great, and just the developing romance with Eun-Woo. I mean, she was so insecure, but yet not. Yeah. She was finding herself in Eun-Woo, who was so, stoic and good looking, but also completely insecure, as Do Kyung-suk was just really lovely, really well done. And it's not like they weren't going to get together, but just watching the relationship develop and grow was really fun.
I did find their journey very satisfying.
Totally.
Like when they finally got together, you were like, yeah.
And his mom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Park Joo-mi. The mom we all want, even though she disappeared for a long time. But when she came back, yeah.
She was fantastic.
Good.
Yeah,
and of course our TA, our hottie TA.
Hottie TA, who's really 12
Dong-Yeon.
Yeah.
Fair, wise.
Fair, wise, 10. What?
What? I think 21, actually.
It's all saved.
We're all pervy Nunas around here.
I know, right? Like, what's that? Well, that's weird.
He definitely skewed. I mean, even a TA would, if you figure somebody, a grad student level or whatever, 25, 26, still, he he played older than his actual age. So
yeah, he was fun to watch.
But did very well.
It was great. It was great. All the stories were great. I really loved that they were just kind of, late teenagers fumbling around trying to figure out life and love and big things like that.
I remember we were talking about it, and I was all for getting a season 2 of it because I wanted to see some of the other characters' stories. But you were like, no, it's done. Do you still feel the same way?
Oh yeah, I think it's done.
Okay,
it's done.
I'm not sure it ended strongly enough to launch into a second season, but I agree with you.
I would not have liked a second season with those two as the leads. Again, I would like to see maybe another.
Are there rumblings of a second season?
Yeah, actually there were.
There were.
I mean, they weren't loud rumblings, but a couple of them. What's her name? The lead.
Soo-Hyang.
Soo-Hyang. Yeah. She was actually commenting that there was talk of there possibly. I mean, again.
Because there were a lot of secondary characters.
There were a lot of secondary characters that I would have liked to see grow.
Yeah.
Good choice. That's my list.
All right, it has a good list.
It is a good list.
My binge watch list. Yeah. My rewatch list. Is bad. Okay, so for me,
Jen, what's number 3?
If you haven't interacted with me at all on Twitter, if you have ever listened to me talk on this show, if you've ever asked me for a suggestion of what you should watch, this should come as no surprise. My final show, and probably my favorite show of all of 2018, is Come and Hug Me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was so good.
From minute one.
From the get-go.
Yeah, I'm even rewatching it, and it's that good again.
Oh, wow.
I talked Caitlin into hitting play. I don't think she enjoyed it because she hasn't talked to me since about it. But she finally hit play, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to rewatch it with her. And so I hit play, and I was like, oh, it's still so good.
I know.
Oh, my God.
You got to love dark and murderous and thwarted love. It's just so good.
You've got Ki-Yong, who is so compelling. And again, I will yield the floor on this. Not Sung-Woong levels of compelling.
What's his first lead role? He's another one who's like, I don't know, 25 maybe.
He's very young.
But he's just so good.
I think Sung-Woong's 30.
Right, he is. He's an old man.
Yes.
But just so good. And I love the fact that we got to know them. Their time jumps are really good. The way they laid out the time jumps are super good. You're super invested in what happened when they were as kids. Because I find that in some shows, when you do you jump back, you're like, okay, let's just get back to this. Let's just, I got it, show, let's go. But they spent
it was
almost four full episodes laying this groundwork so that when they finally see each other at the school, it's like,
I know.
And then they don't see each other again for
I know, there's another jump.
There's another jump. And so when they finally get to the point where they're actually interacting with each other, they've so earned it, and you're so on board for it.
Yeah.
That I just, it's just so good.
And great supporting performance.
Oh my gosh, so many great supporting.
The brother.
The brother who is just
father.
Oh, just so good. I adored Kyung-Nam was the brother who just had. I thought, as much as I enjoyed our two leads, and they were so good and so compelling, I thought the arc that was the most satisfying for me was the brother. I mean, he went from being just a punk and a half, right, to finally realizing that he actually was loved, and it was just so beautiful.
And
that even when he went,
in his life,
and even when he went to jail, he knew that they were going to be there for him, and he was just, it's just so beautiful. It's so good, so good. I love it so much. And then the mom, you cannot talk about it without talking about Soo-Hyang. Oh my God.
So
I've loved her since I've loved her forever. I just have loved
Descendants
her.
of the Sun.
Thank you. So I'm like, and she's Descendants of the Sun. I've loved her since Descendants of the Sun without even knowing who she was. Yeah. And she just was, that scene, when I just watched it, so that's why I'm like, I remember it so well. But the scene where she goes to get Eun-Woo from basically the facility when he's a young boy, and she apologizes to him for not, it's just, so good.
Oh.
So heartbreaking, and they're both crying, and the police officer's like, oh my God, I used to think people were horrible, and then it's just, there's just so many beautiful, beautiful moments that even though the romance was really satisfying and really good, it was actually all the other relationships that I just found so good.
And that final episode was really well done.
So
and just,
well done.
Bringing in the teenagers, it was just
and they just stuck the landing. That's the other thing. Like that landing was like, oh, boom.
And how many shows can we say that about this year? Even the ones we really, even the ones we love. Even 100 million stars.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, not 100 million stars.
100 million days, my friends.
So many hundreds. But yeah, I know, so it's hundreds, isn't it? But this one did. It just, from play to end, it was just, in my personal opinion, the most solid show that I saw this year.
It.
So yeah, I just adored it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I love you so much. Thank you so much. But with that being said,
what are we ending the year with?
I will pep it with a show that may bring me almost as much joy. Ladies, I think it's going to bring us all this much joy.
I mean, we're three times three.
Yeah.
Here's my math. That's 9. So it's, people often do like a top 10.
Right. So we have one more
that we can all agree on.
And I think I could be wrong because we don't know the ending because we know how K-dramas can like totally go. But as of right now, in this moment, I think Memories of the Alhambra could possibly give Come and Hug Me, for me personally, a run for its money this year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Hyun-bin's hard to beat.
He is very hard to beat. He is so compelling as an actor.
Oh my goodness.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Riveting.
He really is.
We get 16 episodes of him.
Right? Like, I mean, I get that his whole career is about being a pretty boy and like that guy and all
his
that
charisma, yeah.
But
he can act.
He can act. Like, he is just compelling to watch as an actor.
And Park Shin-hye is no slouch.
No, but he is.
There's just something you can't take your eyes off of.
Yeah.
Seriously.
In his performances, yeah.
You're just kind of like, oh.
Oh, yeah. And when he's playing the game, wielding a sword.
Even when he's wielding it badly.
Yes.
Like, I
in that first
appreciate
episode,
the fact that he does not. He's okay with looking like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like I will stay up all night to
like,
get to level up.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
fingers crossed that as we head into January.
Please.
But right now, so good.
So good.
That's
a
good number 10.
It is a perfect number 10, right?
Ladies,
that is some solid 2018
Such
viewing
a good
right
year.
there.
What were your favorites in 2018?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Because there were some good shows out there that we actually had to make cuts to make this list.
Yeah.
This show could have gone on for so we decided no.
But we do have other special episodes,
We
so
do.
be sure to check our
stay tuned.
YouTube channel for that.
Yes.
Absolutely. And as always, we are the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Karen.
And Marisa, if you want to continue the conversation, find us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And as Marisa already said, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Hit the bell.
Sound effects, ding ding.
Love sound effects. To be notified when we have something new to share with you. Thank you for joining us for our top favorites of top K-dramas of 2018.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Bye.